Have you ever tried to watch a computer system in real time? I mean, really watch it? It's just this blur of pure chaos. There's so much happening at once that trying to track it all feels completely impossible. But what if you could find that one important clue, the signal, that's hidden inside all of that digital noise? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down today. Just think about it for a second. In any given moment, you've got processes constantly starting up and shutting down. You've got files being created, written to, and then, poof, they vanish completely. And all the while, you have countless network connections firing off in the background, talking to servers all across the globe. It is a constant, overwhelming storm of activity. It's just a lot to take in. So that brings us to the most important question of all. In that entire storm of activity, how on earth do you find the one thing that actually matters? This is where we begin. It all boils down to one core skill: finding the signal. And what that really means is learning how to tell the difference between what's truly important and what's just routine, everyday background chatter. To do that, we need a basic building block, and for us, that's the event. Now, an event is super simple. It's just something that happens. A process starting? That's an event. A file getting created? That's an event too. Each of these little actions leaves a trace, like a little footprint we can follow. And this is really the heart of it all. On one side, you have noise, all the normal, expected, routine stuff a system does just to function. But on the other side, you've got the signal. That's the meaningful behavior, the activity that tells you something important is going on. The whole challenge isn't to see everything, it's to learn how to recognize the signal. So what does a signal actually look like out in the wild? Well, here's a perfect example. Let's say you're watching a program and you see hundreds of routine, boring events. But then, you notice one process is connecting to an external server over and over and over again. Now that's unusual. That repetition, that pattern, that right there could be your signal. Okay, so we know we're hunting for a signal in all this noise. But how do we actually find it? This brings us to our most powerful tool, the timeline. This is how we're going to bring some order to all that chaos. How do we spot these patterns when they're buried in just a sea of random activity? I mean, just staring at a raw list of events isn't going to get us anywhere. The answer is the timeline. It's such a simple but incredibly powerful method. All we're doing is arranging events in the order they happened, chronologically. And when you do that, you can start to see relationships. You can answer questions like, what happened first? What happened next? And most importantly, what triggered what? Check this out. It makes it so clear. Look at this simple timeline. At 10:01 and 1 second, process A starts. 2 seconds later, it creates file B. 2 seconds after that, it makes connection C. And then, a second later, it stops. All of a sudden, a random list of events actually has a story. Patterns start to pop out, and from those patterns, we get real understanding. So, we've got the how, but let's talk about the why. Why is this so important? Because this is how we go from just sorting through noise to uncovering genuine insight. And believe me, it is a critical skill to have. The benefits here are just huge. You're not just watching events anymore. You're actually able to spot unusual behavior that pretty much everyone else misses. When something goes wrong, you can trace the problem right back to its source. You're really going beyond the surface to truly understand what your system is doing, and you're turning that raw, chaotic data into something you can actually use, real insight. So you're probably wondering, okay, how do I get started? Well, that's what this last part is all about, training your eye. Let's walk through the very first steps to becoming a really skilled observer. Here is your first assignment, and it's super straightforward. Step 1, just pick a simple system and watch it. Step 2, take note of the key events you see happening. Step 3, focus on what changes or what just stands out as odd. If you do that over time, you'll find that Step 4 happens almost by itself. You'll naturally begin to see what really matters. It's a skill you build with practice, just like any other. So let's end with this thought. Our world, both digital and physical, is just absolutely full of noise. And maybe the most valuable skill you can develop is the ability to find the signal in all of it. So the only question left is, what signal will you find?